This episode of Catch the Craze is sponsored by
Eager Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, Issue 3 is now on Kickstarter. Eager Raven, a half-unicorn, half-human princess, is forced from her enchanted kingdom of Edenron into one of the outer kingdoms of men. Eager Raven is unsure how she can help her people, but a chance encounter with a noblewoman and her unusual lady-in-waiting reveals a path more treacherous than fighting the Dragon Lords themselves. Please check out Eager Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn on Kickstarter today.
What's up, George? What's going on in the House of Craze today?
Wow, what's going on in the House of Craze? Today on the show, we have Dan Price and Casey Allen, Bigfoot Knows Karate. And in our Get Your Meds segment, we're going to be talking about motivation. Motivation.
I'm not motivated when you have your big foot in my face. Let's get it!
Yeah.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Catch the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the dream of Medina and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your meds, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the craze. If you are an independent, catch the craze. Making moves on your own, catch the craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the craze. Join the movement, catch the craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. You know you want to do it. Catch the Craze. Welcome to Catch the Craze podcast. I am your host with the most, Sam the Crazy Man Vera, and I am with
George the Dreamer Medina. What's happening, Sam? What's going on today?
What's going on? What's going on? Lots of things going on. We're on the we are a couple of weeks away from the launch of Forbidden on Kickstarter and Indiegogo.
But before we get to that, let's welcome everyone in to another exciting episode of Catch the
Hola, ¿cómo
Craze.
estás? ¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo están? If you haven't yet and you like talking about indies, getting to know independent artists, maybe this is the show for you and you should hit that subscribe button. If you are an indie and you are wondering, hey, how do I do this thing? Or what are the things that I should not do? Then maybe this is the show for you and you should hit that button. So click on that button, subscribe, like, comment, all that fun stuff. Help us grow. And and we're going to go into In the News in a little bit, and we're going to be talking about what you're talking about, Sammy. But,
Let's give them something to talk about.
But today we have another duo of guys, Dan Price and Casey Allen. They're going to be talking about Bigfoot Knows Karate. If you want to know a little bit more about their book, go to bigfootknowskarate.com. They have a really cool preview on the website, and we will be talking to them about that today. We're going to be talking about motivation, what keeps us and what motivates us.
Yeah, no.
So, man, we got a good show today, man.
We got a whole lot of stuff to talk about.
Oh, yeah, baby.
I've been busy.
Yeah, it's October 15th. So, this is middle of the month already.
Yeah.
And next month is big. Next month is big because we're doing something that I don't think has been done by our contemporaries right now.
Nope.
So you want to go into In the News real quick?
In the news. I wish I knew where it was. In other news, it's like I got so many icons everywhere.
Yo, dude, I thought you labeled all that stuff.
I did, but Herb, I think he converted it to Spanish. Herb, damn it! It's like, yo, what's up with you, homie?
Herb, son.
He's like, you need to learn how to speak Spanish. All right, so So Forbidden will launch live on Indiegogo and Kickstarter simultaneously.
Woo.
What? And then some people might say,
Oh, you crazy.
That's right. Heads Crazy Comics, Catch the Craze. What's up with that? So this is exciting. The reasons that we're here. The reason I did it is because I did Forbidden on Kickstarter, and then I followed up with the Indiegogo, and it was just too long. And I was like, oh, hell no. So there's some people that would do one without and won't do the other. So I was like, all right, I got two different groups, two different factions. You know, it's the Hatfields and the McCoys, and nobody wants to play with each other. So I'm like, all right, now you both have your own, you can play in your own sandbox, and then hopefully end back the campaign. So both of them are basically, it's exciting because it's not only issue number 2, which we introduced Primate Santra, who takes over the helm of the artist's responsibilities, but it's also the first volume collected edition. So it's 75 pages of art and story, plus an additional page. It's about a 100-page book of the world building. It's the concept designs, the character bios, all that stuff, behind the scenes stuff that's you can only get in the collected edition. So it's gonna be pretty dope. Not too many bells and whistles with this campaign. It's basically just one. There might be a couple of surprises, but I can't announce it just yet. But there's just one. There's one homage limited edition variant covers. The homage cover to Kingdom Come. And so yeah, I'm pretty stoked, homie.
Right, yeah, no, that's big news, man. That is big news. We got another issue of Forbidden coming out. They're coming out like clockwork, bam, bam, bam. And this is a big one. This is so you get the option of getting issue 2 if you have issue 0, issue 1. You get the option of just getting issue 2 because you like the single issues, or you get the option to get it all collected in one graphic or trade paperback, and get the whole story all in one book.
Yeah, so
this is good. See, this is good for the collector, right?
Yes.
Because that collector who doesn't want to crease their pages open to read the book, they just buy the trade, and now they have the book. They can collect it, put it away. It's signed already. Yeah. And then they have the trade they can read as many times as they want.
And if anybody who's joining this for the first time ever, who's never pledged to any of the campaigns and are going to be introduced to Forbidden, and are interested, there is one level, there's one tier where you can get every single cover ever produced, and it's a lot of them.
Yikes.
There's a lot of covers between issues 0, 1, and 2. There's just
didn't you have a whole show about covers?
No, but I knew this is you're collecting the back issues. So whatever was produced in the first campaign, the second campaign, you're able to collect it in one tier.
Roughly how many covers?
Is let's see, 1, 2, 3. There's probably about 14 or 15 covers.
15 covers.
Yeah, and that's just the first 3 issues, homie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, listen, this is the best time to tell everybody also to go to the launch page. There's gonna be a link on the
link below.
Below.
Yeah, link is below.
Make sure you hit that launch page so you can get notified when the campaign goes live on both platforms. There's gonna be 2 of them. So if you're a team Kickstarter, there's your link. If you're a team Indiegogo, there's your link. Let's see who beats who. Let's really see who's what.
Is it gonna be the Hatfields or the McCoys?
Let's see what happens.
Is it the Wanderers or the Ducky Boys? It's like, who knows? Is it the Warriors?
Now, would this be crazy? Okay, if you kind of, we'll talk off air. Now, you know what? I'm gonna tease it here. We'll talk off air because I don't want to put Sam on the spot.
Put me on the spot and watch me drop shit like the weather. Check out the flow by your smooth the type of crud. Huh?
We look out for each other on this show. I'm not gonna throw Sam under the bus like this.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I will talk to him off
exactly up because I'm like 20-something hours away.
No. We don't do that. We don't do that here. Cool. We'll talk. But I just had an idea. I gotta write it down.
Yeah, but I'm excited. It's like I decided because the issue number 2 is 32 pages. So issue number 2 is a big book. So you're getting 32 pages of story in issue. So we started off with issue 0 with 16 pages. Issue number 1, 27 pages. Issue number 2, 32 pages. That's not cover. That's not inner cover. That's not credits. That's not ads. It's just 32 pages of story. Crazy. So now you collect all 3. You got 75 pages of story. And for the first volume, plus an extra 25 pages of behind-the-scenes world-building stuff. So it's a real good collector's item. The first volume in the Forbidden saga in the series, because the second volume is even crazier. Uh-oh.
Right.
Uh-oh. Oh, I got to talk to you about what I just got hit up. Marketing strategy. Marketing strategy. Snap. Oh, snap. People were like, yo... Let's talk.
Save that for.
Yes.
Save that. Oh, okay.
Surprise! So
I
it's
like a little bell.
I know. It's bing. I was like, you can ring my bell. Ring my bell. Yeah. So that's pretty interesting. That's an interesting one. But yeah. So I'm excited because you know, and then you have the limited edition homage cover to Kingdom Come. Alex Ross Kingdom Come. If you know the cover of Superman in that issue, this is my homage to that, and it's only 100 going to be printed, and it's comes with a certificate of authenticity, numbered and signed. And if you don't want the cover signed, if you pledge on that, you got to let me know, because we had some collectors with Cast the Crazies didn't want it signed because they were getting it CGC graded, and CGC needs to be able to see you sign it in order to provide that the signature authenticity. And so you have to let me know if you're going to do that ahead of time, so that I don't sign the cover. And if you see me at a con and CGC, what?
In Kickstarter, you can actually put that in the survey. Do you want it signed or not? In Kickstarter, like when you send the survey out.
Oh, he said, "Yo, let me explain something to you."
But I don't know. Right. I don't know what happens in Indiegogo though. I don't know if Indiegogo sends surveys out. Do they send surveys out? No, right?
Not survey, but you send an update.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so
you can do an update.
The Indiegogo pledgers may have to tell you when they're pledging.
Word.
But the Kickstarter ones will be able to get the.
Yeah, but there's the retail edition as well, so the retailers can get issue number 2. 5 issues. If you get that tier for retailers, you'll get a bonus copy of the homage cover as a thank you, and signed and everything. And also, if you get 5 copies of the trade, the graphic novel, same thing. So there's a couple of opportunities for the retailers. You can get issue 2 alone, or you can get all 3 issues combined separately, 5 issues of each, or 5 copies of the trade. So I have the retailer's edition as well. So hopefully that does well. I'm going to promote really heavy to the retailers outside of the campaign, and to try to get some momentum around that.
Yeah, but make sure you tune in, because the week that that it goes live, we're going to have 2 live shows that week. So we're going to have the live show for the launch, and then we're also going to have our monthly live show. So we'll be talking more about Forbidden, and we're going to give you all of the
it's going to be a double dose of Forbidden. Yeah, that's a Forbidden week. And so I'm trying to get back into my it's going to be crazy. I'm trying to get back into my routine. Last week there were so many episodes that I didn't do a live drawing episode because there was just so much going on. And for you guys out there, if you have a book that you want me to feature on What's in the Box, just hit me up, send me a PDF, and I will get you featured on What's in the Box. I also want to mention thank you to Daphne Lage, who is the sponsor of this episode, and she has 5 days left of her campaign on Kickstarter. She killed it on the first day. She blew away her goal. She continues to grow. She is a phenom. So check out that. Her link is also in the summary below on this YouTube channel. So hit that link and support her campaign now, which is 5 days left. She's got some dope covers and a lot of great incentives.
I really love her strategies, man. Her strategies for all the different things are really, really, really well done. Really well thought out. I may have to steal some of those staff. I'm going to tell you right now, I'll probably be stealing some of your ideas, because they are really, really good. So definitely check out that Kickstarter campaign.
You know what? You made me come up with an idea.
Which one?
When it's like the Hatfields versus the McCoys. So I'm going to do a promo piece of Kickstarter versus Indiegogo character.
Okay.
Going head to head.
That goes in line with what I was going to say to you. So I'll save it. I'll save it offline.
I've been thinking.
Okay. So, all right. Yeah, no, we'll talk. Well, listen, if you guys want to know what we talked about, tune in on the launch show and tune in, so you'll know what the heck Sam and I are discussing.
I want to know
after we discuss it.
What you're thinking. Tell me what's
good.
on
That's good
your
stuff.
mind.
That is good stuff. But I'm getting a little. So I may need to
This
get
is
my meds.
green tea. This is good.
Oh, okay. Well, I just need to get my meds. But don't we have a sponsor for the?
Yes. Before we go to get your meds, you might want to consider promoting your campaign, your convention, your book signing.
Are you sitting at home wondering how you're going to spread the word about that Comic-Con that you're about to appear at, and you want to get some press? How about your first book signing? How do you spread the word so you can get an audience there? Or that first panel at a Comic-Con? Who do you talk to? Or even your first crowdfunding on Kickstarter or Indiegogo? The world is turning to podcasting to get the word out. Why not you? Sponsor an episode of Catch the Craze and start promoting yourself today.
So, it's that time, George. Don't you think? I don't know what happened to him, but it's time to get your...
It's time for your medicine.
So
Yeah, you did. Motivation. Motivation.
Motivation.
Yes. Why motivated? Why motivation?
You know, I was what was it? Last month I was on the Raging Cajun. Very good show by Meredith Logren and Nita Lanning. Sorry, and they have a great show called The Raging Cajun. You guys, if you haven't checked it out, go on YouTube, check out their channel, subscribe. They always tell you to hit that button, so hit that button when you go there. But I was on the show, and the interview was great. They asked some very, very good questions. One of the questions was, basically, how do you stay motivated? How do you keep, because as independent artists, we have to promote ourselves every single day because nobody else is going to do it for you, right? So every day you got to try to post something. You got to do something, something to just so that people hear you. People have to hear you. People have to see you. But sometimes it's tough, man. Like sometimes you wake up and you're like, dude, I don't feel like doing this today.
Nope.
So what keeps us motivated? I figured let's have a little discussion about motivation. What keeps you motivated, Sam? I'll talk to you about what keeps me motivated and see if that helps people out who are having maybe a hard time getting motivated. You know what I mean? Because it's not easy.
No, it's harder this time around than when we first started doing this stuff back in the days. I think a lot of it has to do with the restrictions on society with COVID and, I think a lot of that stuff. And then, everything is online. It was easier when you're building and cultivating that fan base when you're meeting people in person and you're traveling. Because you're going state to state and you're touching people. Online, people have the option to look at what you posted or not look at your posted and keep it moving. At an event, you can say, hey, how are you? And they'll say, how are you back? And you can try to engage and hopefully bring them in. So I think what my motivation is, I have to fulfill one of my dreams in life, and this is it. Mm-hmm. That's my motivation. And I don't like when I got my car was when I was hit by another car and I was in my car. We went live that night. Moving out here, we didn't miss a beat. We had episodes going, and I'm still working on the back end and I'm posting every day. It's because as long as I'm capable of it, I'm healthy enough and I can do the things, I'm going to do it because I chose this. I chose to give up my career in retail, which was a healthy, lucrative, prosperous career, to do this. And it's become harder and harder and harder every day since I started this. But I don't, if I failed, there's only one person to blame, and it's me. And I'm not built that way. I'm not built to, that first time around, I walked away from it. I'm not walking away from it twice, and I have to finish what I started. And so my motivation is I need to get my books out to the masses. I want people to be able to know the characters in Forbidden, know the characters in The Crazies, know the characters in Disney in My Toilet. I'd like people to grow up with my stuff, the next generation. I touched the surface back then. You know, when you go to a bookstore in the middle of nowhere and there's my book on the shelf, I was like, holy crap, right? That, you know, how do you expand that? You know, there's a lot of challenges. You know, bookstores are far less than they were back then. You know, floppies are slowly dropping in sales. You know, the single issues, right? So everyone's looking for the collected editions. Everybody and their grandmother wants to create a podcast and a comic book. And so from celebrities to the unknowns. So there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of noise. So for me, I can't worry about all that. I just got to worry about putting my heart and soul into what I do and just push it.
Yeah, I think that when you talk about motivation, everybody's motivated by different things, right? Different things motivate different people. Like what you were talking about, like that's motivated you to continue to do this, right? Because, hey, man, I got to fulfill this dream. I got to do it. I think I've broken down like my motivation into like top 3 things that motivate me just in general. And I don't know if this will help anybody out there who's feeling unmotivated or not, but I think one of the things that keeps me motivated to continue to do what I do and what we do is other people's success. And what I mean by that is when I see an indie friend of mine, or when, like, for example, I'll give you a perfect example, Daphne, right? Daphne's Kickstarter, her launch, you know, she's got 5 days to go. I don't know where she's at right now. As of this recording, she's already made goal, okay, and she's only been out there.
She's probably in Fiji right now.
She's probably got the stretch goals. She has some really cool stretch goals. So when I see that lot, you know what I mean? Like that motive, oh man, okay, I can't wait to put my stuff out. And it's not because I'm talking about competing with her, because I'm not trying, because to me, competition is I got to beat you.
Yeah.
If I'm going to compete against somebody, I'm beating you. I'm not just going out there just to have fun. No, I'm competing, I'm beating. This isn't competition. This is just, dude, I love what she's doing with her books. I want the same amount of success she has. I want to experience that as well, because I'm sure it feels great. Just recently, as of this recording again, her Kickstarter was marked a campaign that Kickstarter loves.
Yeah, campaigns we love.
That's motivation, bro. Like, how do I get that? I want that. That's my motivation. So other people's success, my friends, my peers, even Marvel's success. What if that cartoon that's out, you know what I mean? Like Hawkeye coming, how the hell do they keep doing this and keep producing and getting the numbers? I need to figure that out. That's my motivation. I want to know how they do that. That motivates me, right? The other thing that motivates me is accountability. I don't want to let my loved ones, not other people, but my loved ones, I don't want to let them down. Like they root for me. You know what I'm saying? They root for me to do well. I want to show them, yo, I'm still doing this, man. I'm still here. I'm still doing it. Don't worry. As long as I'm here, I'm still doing it. That motivates me. That accountability. Like, hey, I'm still putting stuff out. You know, Wonder Duck is coming out in the spring. For Sam, you know, you have Forbidden. You've been doing Forbidden's done. And now it's about getting it to the masses, right? Motivation. Let's get this done because people are waiting for it. People are like, yo, let's get it done. And then the final one I'm going to say, because there's many, but the final one is fear of failure. I don't want to fail. Like we talked about this before, like whenever you got into fights, right? What motivated you to win that fight? You didn't want to be embarrassed. That was that fear.
Because in my block, if you took a loss, everyone's going to go after you now. Yo. So I'm like, no, you can't.
That's the motivation, right? Yeah. That fear of failure will motivate your ass. Don't get it confused for fear of success, because some people are afraid of success.
Yes.
They sabotage themselves because they don't know how to handle what comes with success, and they're afraid of that stuff.
Yes.
And they will sabotage. So don't confuse it with fear of success. I'm talking about fear of failure. Right. Don't want to fail. I'm going to do everything I can to succeed. And I think that I try to keep that in my mind, and I try to keep that written down. You know, other people's success, accountability, fear of failure. No, motivation. Otherwise, I won't print. I won't post, because what's the point? You know what I mean? What's the point? And it's not easy, dude. Like, it's not easy to build a fan base, bro. We've been trying to build a fan base for how long?
Forever.
It's not easy. What's going on?
I need a pillow for my tush. Sitting down too long is no good on my coolie.
But yeah, I think that's and everybody will have different motivations. Yeah. That's what motivates me. Sam's got his motivations. That's what motivates him. Yeah. And I think you got to find yours to keep yourself motivated and get up and do what you got to do. You know, whether it's fail. You don't want to fail. Whether it's your dream, you want to follow. You want to achieve that dream. You left a lot behind for this bad boy. So that's your motivation to get it done. And I'm sure it's not easy some days, Sam. You wake up and you're like, what?
No, there are days I'm like, I'm wasting my time. What am I doing? This is ridiculous. It's like, there are days I get frustrated. There are days where the real world comes into play, and there's a lot of things coming my way. It's like, even like the 2 months process of looking for, the 3 month process, looking for a home, getting the home, dealing with the banks, dealing with the brokers, dealing with, inspections, packing up my place, traveling across country, loading, unloading, setting up, taking down a studio, building a studio. I mean, all that stuff on top of trying to, take care of the home and then go after my dream. So there are days where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm moving over my head. What am I doing? And because there hasn't been a financial return on the investment. And so that's where the discouragement comes in, and you start like, oof, how long do I keep playing in the weeds before I can see above the hedge, And I think that's where you then what happens is you'll see somebody online, or I will listen to a motivational speech or an interview with like Tony Robbins or whatever, and I'll get back in the game. Or I see an artist that inspires me. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm just as good. People need to see it, And I think that's what it is. I don't doubt the quality of what we produce. I doubt the strategy, because I have to keep trying to reinvent the strategy, because it changes all the time, because this strategy didn't work. I'm gonna try something new. This isn't working. I gotta try something new. So it's really the how part, which is the part that creates the feeling of being discouraged, and it's not the what, because the what is the product, and I believe 100% of the product. It's the how to get it out there.
I think that it's an on the job training kind of thing. Like we're on the job and we're learning as we go, and you never stop learning. I mean, there are things that, oh man, I never thought of that. Oh, let me try that. That's a good one. Okay, let me try that. And it's constantly reinventing yourself and putting whatever it is that you've learned, even whatever you learned in your background as a in retail, that you can bring that into the equation. A lot of stuff that I learned when I was working for the advertising agency way back in the day. A lot of that stuff, try to add to what I'm doing. But it's a different world today, man. Things are changing so fast. Like, kids consume entertainment very differently, and you have to try to adapt as much as you possibly can to that change. Kids are on TikTok all day. Like, that's all my nephews do, is just TikTok video after TikTok video. And it's the infinite scrolling, like it's just.
Speaking of TikTok, I think I'm shadow banned.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so TikTok shadow bans you. So I used to get hundreds of views and all this stuff, and my stuff was starting to grow, and then all of a sudden I get no views on anything I produce. So I was looking it up to find out why, and I saw this guy talking on YouTube about being shadow banned, and I don't know what that is. And it's almost as if they want you to continue to produce content, but they're not gonna allow people to see your content for whatever reason. Yeah. And I don't know if it's for you to try to buy an ad to try to get content and to try to get visibility. I think that's like Facebook does that. They limit your visibility because they want to force you to buy some ads. But yeah.
Because there are millions of people watching these things. I guess they want to get paid for the views.
Yeah. But so that is motivation. That's my perspective on it. That's George's perspective on it. What's your perspective? If you leave a comment below, let's talk about it. If you'd like to have us continue this conversation on a live show at the end of the month, let us know. Join us in the live chat and we'll talk about it. I see that our guests are in the waiting room. So we're going to cut to a commercial break. This is Forbidden. Remember, launching November 1st on Indiegogo and Kickstarter. That's not it.
father a curse on his people, betraying his family in search of the truth, awakening the evil behind the curse. Now they must race to save their people, or die trying.
All right, we're bringing in our guests. Here we are. Hello, gentlemen.
Hey,
How's it going, guys?
Hello.
Howdy.
You
We
jamming
got
over there,
some
Casey?
rockers.
What?
how's it going, guys?
It's going good. Love the
Good,
setup.
good. Yeah,
It's,
I like
it's where I go to escape children.
it. Welcome back, everyone, to Catch the Craze. We are here with Dan Price and Casey Allen. They are the creators of Bigfoot Knows Karate. That's a cool ass name. But before we get into that, I'm George. That's Sam. Sam, you got something? You got something for them?
Hola. So, gentlemen, we're going to go down the line before we talk about your product and what you're doing. We'd like to know about you. So, why don't you start off and let us know who you are and what's your role and what you guys do?
Dan, you want to go first, man?
I can go first, Case. Hi, I'm Dan Price. I am the creator, co-writer, and artist for Bigfoot Knows Karate. That's who I am. Casey, who are you?
My name's Casey Allen. I am the co-writer for Bigfoot Knows Karate. I also kind of start off as an editor on this, and eventually kind of came in as a co-writer. And so, yeah, that's what I do.
Outstanding. So let's start with Dan. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up here in Texas, man. I'm what happens when English Jews move to Texas. This is what you get right here. This is the whole embodiment. So no accent. You can't tell. So if you're from Texas, you think I'm from New York, is really what happens. And anybody from New York knows better.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
So what part of Texas?
Austin. I live here in Austin.
I just moved to Texas. I'm in Rowlett.
Oh, right on, man. Okay, so I'm up in the Dallas area on business a lot, man. It's cool out there. It's quiet.
Yes, it's nice and quiet here. Yes. Well, yeah, I was born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens, moved to Jersey. Now I'm out in Texas.
Okay, there we go.
I'm keeping it PG.
New York is tripping right now. New York is acting a little.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, so it's time to get away. Everyone's going crazy. So how about you?
I'm from Birmingham, Alabama, born and raised, and yeah, man, it's I like it. It's quiet. We live about 30 minutes outside the city. Got a big, huge yard. Let my crazy kids run around, and so yeah, it's quiet out here.
Yeah, I've been to Leeds, Alabama.
Okay, yeah. Leeds isn't too far away. It's about 30 minutes away from us.
I've been to a place called Hillbilly Willie's. It has some great brisket. It was pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I got to get out to Alabama, man. I got to get out there. I'm liking that T-shirt too, man. I like that shirt, that Wu-Tang shirt.
Oh, I appreciate it, man.
It's representing Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
So was that like growing up? Was that some of the music you listened to, Case? Just
I listened to. I kind of got into hip hop later in life, and was introduced mostly to it from my wife, who was a really big fan of Mos Def, Black Star, and now she listens to Big Crit and let's see who else. We're big fans of Run the Jewels and stuff like that. Wu-Tang especially. My favorite like Wu-Tang-ish album, I guess, would be Only Built for Cupid Links.
Oh, yeah.
And like it's a solo album, but I mean,
yeah, no, it was great. That's
got like almost all of the
Yeah, no, growing up, I was very much into like '90s hip hop. Like that's kind of like where my wheelhouse is. I know Sam's also a big hip hop head. What about you, Dan? What kind of music are you into?
Oh man. Okay, so hip hop wise, I started when I was young, and then kind of went away from it for a long time, and got back into it in the recent years. That Most Def Black Star album, my nephew got me into that one. That's absolutely fantastic. I mean, hey, look, you take your music where you can get it, right? I run the gamut. I'm a big fan of blues. I love punk rock. So when you get things like when like R.L. Burnside is paired with like John Spencer, and when they did like Ass Pocket of Whiskey, that's an amazing
Such a good album.
Such a good album. But funk, I'll listen to anything basically. I mean, I don't like new country. I've never had an appreciation for opera, but like you give me some miserable country music from like the 50s or something like that, some sad pappy crap, where he's just, I'll listen to that too. I mean,
you know what it is with old school country music, and to the people who like new country music. I mean, I don't know, but like the old school stuff, they were storytellers, man.
Yes.
Like they told stories. Like when you think about like Kenny Rogers and The Gambler, right? Think about that song and the lyrics of that song. Here's this man on a train bound for nowhere, right? And he runs into somebody who's down on their luck, and he's like, "Dude, give me some of that whiskey. I'll give you some advice." And it's this story he tells you, and at the end, the guy dies, and you're like, "What a freaking story, dude!" Like, well, I think that's great. That's the greatness of that kind of genre.
Johnny Cash,
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, I mean, that's just an amazing piece. And then like, or if you listen to like blues, listen to like, just take some time and listen to like B.B. King's Live at the Cook County Jail, and the way he just interacts with the crowd and tells his story while he's singing his music. You know what I mean? Like different genre, but the storytelling's just still so much there. So I don't know. I'll go all over the place with you on music. If you want to talk about music, we can do that.
It's interesting because a lot of our guests, there's a correlation between music and comic books and storytelling in comic books and writers and stuff like that. We've met a lot of guys who, like, if they were writing comics, they were also playing some instrument, or they were into some kind of music.
Yeah.
So
it's called being lonely as a teen.
Well, no, but it's funny. I actually have a Bigfoot Knows Karate playlist on my music stream thing. So it's like I see this I see this comic book as a movie, and it has a soundtrack, and so as I've been working on this, I always got music playing that I feel like would fit into the story, if not in this issue, sometime in the mythos of the character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And for those who are watching, we are talking to the creative team behind Bigfoot Knows Karate. Go to their website, bigfootknowskarate.com. They have a really cool preview of the book. But let's go further into your guys' background. What were some of the influences growing up? And I'll start with you, Dan. Like, what were some of your influences in writing, whether it's comics, what were some of those influences that kind of shaped the writer you are today, or the creator you are today?
Okay, so I mean, I do the art, I do the writing, so I get a lot of different influences for different directions. But like the ones who do the writer artists who do it both, I mean, Frank Miller. I mean, to me, he embodies the writer artist. He can pull both jobs off flawlessly. I mean, say what you will about this story or that sort of thing, but for me, Dark Knight Returns and Sin City are always going to be so high up there that so I will always give that man credit. But as an artist concerned, new people like Francis Lennell Yu, he's somebody I really dig. I think his work is really cool. The dude who's doing Ultra Mega, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He's incredible. But like, Jack Kirby, everybody's influence should be Jack Kirby, because Jack Kirby influenced all of us and is completely underrated in terms of being a forefather of comics. As far as I mean, I don't know. I mean, look, movies. I mean, directors. That stuff plays as big a role in, the artists and writers that I like as much as like the Tarantinos and the Scorseses and that sort of thing are playing in this story that we're doing right now.
What about you, Casey? Who are some of your influences?
So I grew up. I was really big into X-Men as a kid. And then I started getting into punk rock and kind of ditched comics for a little while. And I didn't get back into comics until like maybe my early 20s. And I kind of rediscovered Neil Gaiman and the Sandman, got really into that. I went deep into that. And then, that leads to like Alan Moore and Grant Morrison and just, going off the deep end with stuff like that. I'm really, really liking, it's hard for me to pronounce his name, Farrell Dalrymple or whatever.
Farrell Dalrymple, dude. He did Young Wars and Paper.
God, he's amazing.
Shit, he's incredible. We've never talked about him before. I can't believe we've never discussed him. He's incredible.
So, it's some of it's really heartbreaking, his storytelling style. And the art is so dreamlike and just kind of gritty, and I love everything about it. And he's a really amazing writer as well. But yeah, I love that stuff. So I got out of comics for the longest, and then started reading comics again. And then I said, I want to try to write. And I ended up running into a group called the Comic Jam, which I kind of help run now. But if it weren't for those guys kind of pointing me in the right direction and kind of giving positive feedback with writing and all this other stuff, like this project would not have happened on my end, at least. It's finding the right community also kind of helped shape me as the person I am as a writer and editor. So
yeah, that's interesting. I mean, it's so we don't realize how important that is, right? That community that backs you up and that kind of helps you and motivates you in a way. We were talking about that earlier on the show, about motivation, and that's definitely one of those things. Now, how do you guys break up the duties? So Dan, you're the artist and writer, and then Casey, do you also do some art and write, or how do you guys break up those duties?
So what happened was, it's kind of a long story, but I mean, we're here. So like Dan had this character that he had the Bigfoot character, and he kept drawing it. And I'd worked with him through the Comic Jam, which I brought up earlier. It's an online workshop where artists and writers can meet up and do one-page comics. And the good thing about that is one page. There's only so much investment you have to have for one page. I can do my job on the toilet. Like the artist, maybe a little bit, it's kind of hard to put an easel in there, but I
like how Dan's looking for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm looking for the flusher, right? Where did that go?
Exactly. But I met Dan through that. I loved his art. When he asked if he could join the Comic Jam, I was like, he's obviously pulling my leg. This dude is way too good to join a group of amateurs. And holy shit, like he joined, and then we did a few comics together and had a great time. And I ended up going like, oh, I like hanging out with this guy. And then he kept drawing this character. I thought it was amazing. I said, Dan, you got to do something with this guy. And he's like, I got wheels are turning, got something. And then I said, hey, if there's anything I can do to help you get this out, you need to do something. I said, I'll be more than happy to edit. And so he started coming up with a story. And then I kept adding, suggestions like here and there. And then finally he was like, just co-write with me. Like, quit beating around the bush, just fucking co-write. Sorry. I don't know your cursing policy. I apologize.
You're fine.
Yeah, no, it was, we met through the jam, and that was we worked on a project together, and that went really well. And yeah, we just kind of hit it off during that process. Anyway, and that was a few years ago. And then when it came time to start working on Bigfoot Knows Karate, he was pushing me from afar. Come on, dude, do something with it. The challenge was, how do you make a story? How do you make that kind of story not trite? I didn't want to do the usual okay, the Bigfoot gets, attacked in the forest, and then, a master finds him, heals him, trains him, has to go out and go, we've seen that story a million different ways. And I wanted to do something very different with it. And it was around January that I finally kind of had that eureka moment where the story came together. And it was really what we're looking at is Godzilla versus Kong meets Kill Bill. Okay, you've got this cryptid warrior who is fighting a Cthulhu, but so much more with just a rockin' gnarly twist at the end. And the character has been hilarious to get to work on. It started off as a comedy when I originally conceived the idea years ago. And when I started drawing it, the art style took shape in a different way than I ever expected it to. It was not cartoony. It was more, it had a lot of action and flow to it. And I wanted the story to go that direction as well. So we're really dealing with more of like an action adventure, psychological thriller, as compared to the original comedy where he was working in a mall and at a corn dog place. It was a really sad situation.
That's different.
It's very different. Well, you got to understand. So my background is comedy comics. I used to do a book called Latex Avenger. He had a sidekick named Spermicidal Foam Lad, and together they repelled crime 99.9% of the time.
Wow.
All right. And so, I mean, you had characters like Manibus, who was this kaiju pop monster, smoking out the city, and, Kosher the pig. My grandparents were characters in the book. I mean, all sorts of crazy characters, Dr. Biclops, the Visible Woman. I can do this all day. And so when it came down to doing the story, that was a long time ago. I wanted to do something very different, very original, very different, very unlike anything else that I've done before. So this was like, let's just have a smash up, just blowout fist fight between these two really unreal characters. And then on top of that, let's put a really deep story in there and at the same time. And that's what we're trying to achieve. It's not, you think Bigfoot knows karate, you get it. That's like what it's supposed to be. It's not. I mean, it is, but it's not. It's so much more. And we're going to do this over 5 issues. And I think that you're going to really find something really cool in there.
All right. Yeah. No, I was looking through the preview that you have on your website, like I was mentioning earlier. The first page is beautifully drawn, bro. Like it gave me like Andy Kubert vibes in like Origin, like Wolverine's Origin book. Like it's okay. I mean, it's that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
It's because of how sketchy it is and how some of the color palette, like the color palette is very light. Like it's beautifully drawn. Is that something that you're doing digitally, or are you doing it traditionally, or how are we doing this book here?
Digital. I draw with my fingertip on the screen. I use Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop, and that's how I do this whole book. I have a mouse and a fingertip, and this is how I go. If you ever catch me on Instagram, I do live draws on Instagram pretty frequently, and there's usually at least one person in there who's new to the crowd and goes, "What the hell are you doing?" But yeah, I draw with my finger, man. I draw with my finger. It's just what's comfortable for me. So. That's awesome. So
Casey, so you've come in here. You were originally an editor. Now you're in here as a co-writer. How do you guys divide the duties of writing? Like, is it where like Dan will draw like this is the scene and then you'll break it down into panels, or do you have like how does that work?
What happened when I initially came on as an editor? I said, you got to show me an outline. We'll map it out. And Dan just goes off and like he's like, I know exactly where I'm going. And like, a day later in my inbox, there's like the whole outline just like boom. And so we start talking about beats and page after page. And then we started filling stuff in. And so Dan has the script that he kind of broke down. We talked about it. We talk a lot on the phone, and like
much to be healthy, really.
Yeah. I'll walk my dogs and talk to them on the phone, and sometimes I'll be deep ass in the woods, making sure I don't get ticks on me, and talking to them on the phone. but that's where the story comes from. We're talking, and he has all his beats laid out, and then I'll go in and just kind of break it down further from that. And as far as dialogue goes, we kind of go back and forth. We had like probably about an hour and a half conversation about the voice inflection of someone that lives in the ocean and how they would talk. And that was knockdown drag out, let me tell you. No, we
this is the hill I die on, damn it. This is the hill I die on. This is how the fish man talks, damn it. No.
He doesn't stutter, you son of a bitch. But yeah, so we had a long discussion about that. And then, at the end of the day, I was kind of like, actually, Dan has some good points. It's probably be really distracting if after every sentence he said, he goes, so, which was my initial plan.
Letter that. Like, I would even letter that. Like, that sound,
but
you know what I mean?
I don't know if it would read well, but I'll tell you what, it would have been fun as shit to letter. I will have said, we'll say that. It would have been, I don't know how you would have done it, but I would have had fun trying.
Yeah, it would have been great. So just so you guys know, we are airing this episode October 15th. I was just on your website. You guys do have a Kickstarter that's launching October 13th. So we would have to put our future hats on, and hopefully by the 15th, you guys are doing really well. You're rocking it out. This Kickstarter is kicking butt, right? So what is this Kickstarter? What's on this Kickstarter? What are some of the people who are watching, maybe that want to pledge? What are some of the things that they'll be getting in this Kickstarter? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay, so if you go to our website, or if you go to the Kickstarter, either way you can see these things, but BigfootKnowsKarate.com, you'll be able to see the 4 different covers that we're offering, because we're doing 2 different editions of the book. We're doing a regular edition, which is a 30-page story, full color, and then we're going to do the deluxe edition. And the deluxe edition is going to be a 30-page story, full color, and then you're going to get a 10-page fan art gallery. Because we've received over 50 pieces of fan art so far on this project, and then we haven't even put out book number 1 yet. People have gravitated to this project in a way that we never imagined that would happen. And, artists have come out of the woodwork and said we've, just drawn it. And so we've been really lucky to have some amazing artists. Matthew Skillern, who's a friend, he did an amazing cover for us for the variant cover of the regular edition. The deluxe edition is going to be, like I said, I got derailed, 30 pages plus the 10-page fan art gallery, plus we're going to do something really special. We're going to have a director's commentary for the comic book. And yeah, if you've never, I've never seen anything like this before. We're going to try something new. It's going to be a roundtable discussion video that if you, on the deluxe edition, you're going to get a QR code. You click on that QR code, it takes you to a private YouTube video where you're going to have myself, Casey, and a couple other really amazing people talk through the comic. And we're going to tell it, because we've been so guarded about the storyline, we're going to go in depth with you from the beginning to the end of how we came up with it, where we're going, and you're going to also get to see some extra sketches of stuff from where we're going for the next issue. That's all in the deluxe edition. So that's pretty cool in and of itself. I've got a cover for the regular edition, and then the Matthew Skillern cover. And then I've also got a cover on the deluxe edition, and then Adam Caswell did the cover for the deluxe edition. And if you're on our website, it's the blue one, Skillern's is the black and white one, and then mine are the 2 color covers. But so we've got those to offer. I know that was a lot of information, but really proud of this deluxe edition. It was something that was voted on by our Instagram followers, and they really want it. And so we were happy to bring it to them.
Nice.
I love it. No, that's what you're here for, man, to give us all of the information. That's
The
amazing,
scoop.
dude. I love it. I love the creativity behind that. You're incorporating like today's technology with like some old school stuff that you used to get in DVDs. Remember that the directed commentary on DVD?
Stuff. I miss them. I thought the director's commentary track, the writer's commentary, whatever I could get my hand on, I would soak those things up if it was a good enough movie.
I'll still sit and watch, like even on Disney Plus, like the Mandalorian behind the scenes shit. Like I'll just sit there and just watch that. You know what I mean? Just to see how they came up with those ideas. So that's the beauty of being able to do your own book, is you can put whatever you want in there and doing that. So I can't wait, man. So this is for the first issue, correct? The Kickstarter is for the first issue.
Correct.
Yes.
And
So 5 chapters. This one, the first chapter is called Hunter Prey. Bigfoot knows karate, Hunter Prey. And the reason for that is he lives in a world where anybody can be the hunter and anyone can be the prey at any given time. And that theme is shown throughout the story.
You open up really great with that theme. Like, like the twist and even the first few opening pages. And if you guys want to check it out, go to the website because the preview's on there. Very, very well done. I loved how you guys did that. Dude, this has been amazing, man. I can't wait. I mean, I know that we're in the past. We're talking about the future and the present, and we're talking about your October, 13th, launch of the Kickstarter. But I really can't wait for the book to come out. You got my money. I mean, you got my money. It's over. That's it. It's done. Good job. So, and that deluxe edition is the one that sounds like it's the one. But yeah, where can we find you other than the website, obviously? And can you guys just give us individually your social networks? Case, what's yours? And then we'll go with you, Dan.
My social, both Instagram and Twitter, Robots Eat Guitar, robots plural, eat singular guitar. There was a reason for it. It was a commentary I had about mid 2000s indie rock. And that has now fallen by the wayside because nobody knows what the hell I'm trying to say. But it's Robots Eat Guitar. If you want to see me curse out local political officials and hawk comic books, and then that's where you go.
That's where you go. All right, cool. Good enough. What about you, Dan? Where can they find you?
I am Danomite139. That's DANOMYTE 139 on both Twitter and Instagram. Really find me on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. Hey, everybody on Twitter. But I mean, Instagram's home. So, and the meaning behind mine is I was a big Good Times fan when I was a little kid, and that's what happens.
Didn't mean to ask that.
There you go. My sister used to call me Dano when I was young, so it's stuck. So it's just kind of stuck in my IG handle. I also have a what's the little TikTok? I have a TikTok under the same handle, but I don't know how to use it. I'm too.
It's all dance videos.
Dude,
it's just me. It's just me pouring ice buckets on myself and dancing to the latest crazes that my wife finds amazing on TikTok.
That's amazing. Good enough, guys. Good enough. Listen, the time went by too fast. We're probably gonna have to have you guys back. But definitely good luck with the Kickstarter. Hopefully, you guys have already reached your goal. Day 2. As of this, when this goes live. So let's put that good juju out there. And but thank you guys so much for coming on. We'll definitely love to have you back.
Appreciate it, man.
That'd be awesome.
Sam, I really dig your Alf poster. I'm jealous.
Me too, dude. I was thinking the exact same thing.
That's amazing.
I was gonna say, yo, Rowlett, I dig that Alf poster, but it's cool. Do you want to go by Rowlett, or do you still want to be called, you want to be Queens or whatever? So.
Oh, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But Alf is. Man, they have to bring him back, and I'd love to be a writer on that series. I mean, I love Alf.
Did y'all watch the Alf cartoon?
Yes.
Back in the day. That's the best incarnation. That Alf cartoon.
Sing the song.
Oh, God.
Gordon, putting me in stitches. Ain't nobody like you in this place.
There you go.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that great? I haven't done that shit since I was a kid, dude. That was amazing. I give up. I win.
There you go.
Put it on
That's
TikTok.
amazing.
You got to put that on TikTok.
There you go.
Now you got material.
There you go.
Guys,
Awesome.
you've been amazing. Thank you so much for coming on, man.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys for having us.
Yes,
You
it
got
was
it.
a pleasure. Y'all take it easy.
You too.
Take care.
All
Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Later. Woo. That is great.
Yeah, that was awesome. So, oh, wait. Hey. I just removed the wrong person. So, there you go. So, by mistake, I eliminated George, and I got to bring George back. So, with that said, this was another episode of Catch the Craze. I'm Sam the Crazy Man Vera. Thank you for watching. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, like, and that was Bigfoot Knows Karate. Link below. Talk to you soon. We out. It's just easy. It's not.
Crazy. Acquiesce.
No, I was talking about my friend Acquiesce. I met him. Say my name, right? This is what you were thinking? Oh, my. He described me. He said, I'm the idiot.
What? Catch the craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. To Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze on Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.
Candy girl.